The meaning of colors can vary depending on culture and circumstances. Each color has many aspects to it, but you can easily learn the language of color by understanding a few simple concepts, which I will teach you in this series of lectures. Color is a form of a non-verbal communication. It is not a static energy, and its meaning can change from one day to the next with an individual. It all depends on what energy they are expressing at that point in time. For example, a person may choose to wear red on a particular day, and this may indicate any one or more of the psychological meaning of the color red. Maybe this is their favorite color, or may it be that they are ready to take action in some way, or they may be passionate about what they are going to be doing that day, or it may mean that they are feeling angry that day on either a conscious or a subconscious level. All are among the traits of the color red, but one thing is clear, that all these possibilities have connection with brain or the human psychology. In this series of lectures, we will learn to understand the color psychology starting from historical perspective and moving on. The mesmerizing effects that colors have on human goes back hundreds of thousands of years. However, this miracle of nature was put into use by humans not so long ago. The first paint pigment was discovered by pioneering artists approximately 40,000 years ago. Paints produced by using natural raw materials such as soil, animal fat, coal, and lime creates a color palette consisting of five colors: red, yellow, brown, black, and white. The variety of colors available in the nature since the start of time increased swiftly as we started using them in our daily lives. And new color pigments have been put to use in numerous fields in our life. The variety of colors and shades of paints that have become a part of our lives since the cave painting, that is, bridal art, to the Renaissance, are available in our day and time. The color palette of five at the start has now mushroomed into innumerable shades and hues. The mud red that was once obtained from iron-rich soil and used in the cave painting is still one of the shades that is most preferred. The shade of red that was obtained by Aztec tribes of Mexico by the end of 1400s by crushing and drying cochineal bugs living on cactus plants, and was used frequently by many civilizations, to the extent that the red coats of the British Army were dyed by using cochineal bugs until the 20th century. Traditionally, the green color paint was obtained from plant extracts, is one of the oldest color used by humans after red. Swedish chemist Scheele a new bright discovered a new bright green from a base of resin and arsenic in 1775. Arsenic is a poisonous substance in nature. Shale green, which started to be widely used and became popular in Victorian era, gave rise to some problems. Many artists experienced health problems due to the use of highly poisonous arsenic as a chemical in the paint. Thanks to the advanced technology and production techniques, green paints no longer pose any problem. We no longer need to worry about our health as we experiment in color. The use in paints of color blue, which is rarely encountered in nature except in seas, has been quite recent in comparison to other colors. This is to the extent that it is rarely seen in prehistoric cave paintings, antique Greek writings, or illustrated Chinese folk tales. Antique Egyptian civilization, which started mining 6,000 years ago, and extracted lapis lazuli stone, which is also known as Sange Lajward, was the first civilization to use the color blue by applying it on the coffins of their mummies. The use of blue became widespread, especially when in paintings Hazrat Maryam was depicted in blue clothing in many pieces of art in the Middle Ages. Ever since the medieval era, that is from 5th to the 15th century, painters in the Christian world have depicted the Hazrat Maryam in a bright blue robe, choosing the color not for its religious symbolism, but rather for its hefty price tag. Her iconic hue, called ultramarine blue, comes from lapis lazuli or the Lajworth stone, a gemstone that for centuries could only be found in a single mountain range in Afghanistan. This precious material achieved global popularity, adoring Egyptian funerary portraits, Iranian Qurans, and later the headdress in Vermeer's Girls with the pearl earring. This Vermeer's Girls, it is an oil painting by Dutch Golden Age painter Jonas Vermeer, dated back to 1665. For hundreds of the year, the cost of this lapis stone rivaled even the price of gold. In 1950, Klein collaborated with a Persian paint supplier to invent a synthetic version of ultramarine blue, and this color became the French artist's signature. Explaining the appeal of this historic hue, Klein said, "Blue has no dimensions, it is beyond dimensions." Red is a rich color with an even richer history. Use of pigment can be traced way back to the ancient Egypt, where it was considered both a color of vitality and celebration, as well as evil and destruction. From here on, red was a staple hue throughout the history, used in ancient Grecian murals, in Byzantine clothing to signal status and wealth, and heavily applied throughout art movements, ranging from the Renaissance through to modern day art. Red is considered to be the color of intense emotion, ranging from anger, sacrifice, danger, and heat through to love and passion. In many Asian countries, such as China, red is regarded as the color of happiness, well being, and good fortune. It is being considered that red can signal a whole host of different ideas, depending on the specific shade. For example, a darker red often signals luxury and professionalism. A bright, intense red signals excitement, energy, and efficiency. A cooler, deeper burgundy is often more sophisticated and serious, whereas brown tinted maroon red is courageous and strong. Red is also color that is thought to stimulate appetite and hunger, making it a popular choice when it comes to food industry branding like Coca-Cola and McDonald's. Signaled as the color of sunshine and gold, yellow is a vibrant historic color. Deriving the pigment from clay, yellow is thought to be one of the first colors ever used as a paint in prehistoric cave art, with the first application thought to be over 18,000 years old. Ancient Egyptians were pretty creative users of the color too. Owing to its close association with gold, the color was considered eternal and indestructible. Yellow has a long-standing relationship with the world of art, with artists such as Van Gogh it as adopting this yellow color as a signature color to signal warmth and happiness. Among these associations, yellow is the color that embodies many ideas depending on the shade and application. It can symbolize happiness, sunshine, good energy, and joy. However, it can also represent cowardice, betrayal, terror, and illness. Interestingly, These associations are thought to be due to the fact that yellow pigments are often found in toxic materials. Named after the Anglo-Saxon word "grene", meaning grass and grow, green is a color with close and distinctive ties to nature, the environment, and all things to do with the great outdoors. Historically, green was a pigment that did not appear as early in prehistoric art as other hues, as it was a hard pigment to reproduce. Due to this, many art and fabric applications of green either turned out a dull brownish green or eventually faded away due to the temperamental pigments used. So it was only when synthetic green pigment and dyes were produced that green was seen more productively throughout the modern art. In Western countries, green is seen as a color of luck, freshness, the color for go, jealousy, and greed. In China and Japan, green is seen as a color of a new birth, youth, and hope. However, in China, it is also a symbol of unfaithfulness, as to wear a green hat is considered as a symbol of your partner is deceiving you. Psychologically speaking, green is thought to help balance emotions and promote clarity and create an overall feeling of zen. Green is obviously the color of nature and health. Thus, it also has a close ties with the emotion of empathy, kindness, and compassion. Paler, softer mint greens often promote ideas of youth, inexperience, and innocence, while deeper, darker green draws out notions of success, wealth, and money. Vibrant lime green shades promote energy and playfulness, and deeper olive greens are seen as representing strength and endurance. From royal purple to baby blue, colors have been recognized with social meanings for thousands of years. Gavin Evans, author of a book, The Story of the Color, an exploration of the hidden message of the spectrum, explained the interesting background of different colors. He writes, we tend to think of the meanings of color in fixed terms: red for anger, yellow for cowardice, pink for girls, and so on. But when we look at different colors from a historical perspective, it turns out that their meanings are culturally dependent changing depending on place and time. His most interesting find is about pink color. Whenever there is a pink, we think feminineness. Norm in present age is that pink is for girls and blue is for boys. We may think of pink as an innately feminine color, but this is a fairly recent development. In fact, the tendency during the 19th and early 20th century was quite the opposite, and parents were often advised to use pink for boy and blue for girl. In 1897, for example, the New York Times published an article entitled Baby's First Wardrobe, which advised parents that pink is the color for a boy and blue for a girl. 2 decades later, in 1918, the British Ladies' Home Journal expressed the same sentiment, writing, the generally accepted rule is pink for the boy and blue for the girl. The reason is that pink, being a more decided and stronger color, is more suitable for boy, while blue, which is more delicate, is prettier for the girl. At this period, pink was considered a little boy's version of masculine red, while blue had feminine meaning because of Hazrat Maryam's robe, which has been portrayed in that color since the 6th century. It was only in the 1950s that, partly through the influence of Color Association of USA, a color trend forecaster and consulting services to the business community, that pink was promoted as unambiguously feminine color. Car manufacturer Dodge launched its 1955 pink and white La Femme model, complete with lipstick holder and complimentary pink umbrella, with the slogan, Never a car more distinctly feminine.